350 XCF. We've done a few more trail mods. Flame out is one of the big questions I get from guys. They're debating between a 300 and a 350. They're asking questions about, you know, 4-strokes definitely will stall or flame out more than a 2-stroke. That's still going to happen unless you put an auto clutch in, which we're not huge fans of, mainly because we ride a lot of different bikes, and so we like the feel of just conventional setup. So we have our good setup here, and what we've done is we've added the Blaze makes instead of a flywheel weight, a clutch weight. So we bolted that clutch weight on. It gives it a little bit more tractability. We haven't seemed to notice much of a downside on the track or anything. So that seems to be a good addition, adding the clutch weight. We'll put a picture of that right here. Okay, so when you add that clutch weight, it's adding a little mass, gives it a little bit more, roll on. So we added that on. Then we wanted to add some cooling features for our tough trail rides. Right now we're out, those are mountains out there in Colorado, and we're on some tight stuff, and you know, the mountain stuff's maybe in the summertime is a little bit tougher at elevation, and really tight stuff might get them hotter, but what we've done to this thing is we've added a coolant catch can from IMS, a fan from Trail Tech, which, Spencer, have you got it to kick on yet today?
No.
He hasn't got it to kick on. It kicks on at 185 right now. Now, and I'll go over some of that. So we got the coolant catch can, the fan. We put a high temp radiator cap as well. So that's all for cooling, adding cooling. Do you have to do that stuff? I don't know, but I think for us, around protection when we're out in these really remote conditions, we added all that stuff to it. We added a large tank from IMS. These things are pretty good on fuel, but the XCF tank stock is bigger than the SX tanks. But this tank is really narrow. It's even narrower right here than our 2-stroke tanks. That's one thing we're noticing. So that's pretty cool. It's a narrow tank. It doesn't really seem to bother us riding with a larger tank. So it's like 3.2, I think it is, and we added the larger capacity fuel tank. While we were down, we went ahead and added, Enduro Engineering makes a slave cylinder protector. We'll put a picture of that right here. So that bolts on, and also it doesn't allow it to pack with mud. We have a video showing that really cool feature from them, good for these KTMs. We added some wraparound handguards because with just the flaps on, we broke one lever and bent another one. Both my fault. So with these on, I don't bend or break any levers or mess up any throttle tubes. So that's a must. The suspension we felt like was a little bit too soft on the track, and also on the trail, just on some bigger drop-offs. And so we're playing with this. Factory Connection went through, and they're pretty good with the air forks. We've set these up. We're still getting more time on those to really get there. The other mods, performance mods, are the Vortex ECU. And Jamie at Twisted mapped that for us and put that on. Now that thing, it has a lot more power, and we're able to switch between 2 different maps here on our switch, actually 3 different maps. We seem to like it in the most powerful map, the number 1, even on the trail. It seems just fine. With his mapping, it does help on flame out. Now he also will map the stock ECU, and so does that Blaze Racing. They also do. So either places are going to help you map your stock ECU, which will cut down on flame out and stalling. So I would suggest, if you're not going to buy a Vortex, which is a lot of money, you get your stock ECU remapped if you have an XCF. I would do that straight away. So get that remapped. We take out the backfire screen and the filter cage and run a 2-stroke filter cage. You can just order one for a 300 XC. It goes right in, no problem. This bike comes with a spark arrestor stock, which is pretty cool. Another cool feature with this bike. The gearing, we're liking the gearing. Spencer's doing a lot better with it than I would on this tight trails. I think a slower guy is going to want to add a tooth or 2 to the rear on the trails. He's fine with it, and I'm pretty good with it, but I'm not as good a rider, so I will stall it in tougher spots than he would, so it being in first gear. So those are some of the main mods we've done so far. One of our next videos is we're going to really compare this to the 300 XC, because it seems like the guys out there, there's a lot of guys out there debating between those 2 bikes. So that's pretty much a wrap on our 350 XCF. Really good bike, and how many, we got 40 hours or so on this thing. We've done about 35 of those, so we got quite a few hours on it. It's been a great bike, really enjoy it. So we'll be getting back at you soon with a comparison against the 300 here soon, but that'll help you on your 350 XCF.